It is week 3, and welcome to the Gadsden Times Kickoff Show. I'm Teddy Couch, and this is Kevin Taylor, and more region games this week.
That's right. We're back in region play again this week, Teddy. Last week we opened up region play for most of the teams throughout the state and throughout the area, locally outside of Westbrook. And Westbrook kicks off their region slate this Friday night. So just a quick rundown of some of the games that'll be in the area and also just in and around the Gadsden area. West End hosts Westbrook, so that, like I said, that is Westbrook's region opener for them. Sardis is at Etowah. Hoax Bluff will host Aniana. Glencoe goes to B.B. Comer. Gadsden will host Sylvania. Gadsden City hosts Austin. Austin being brand new now to Class 7A after making the jump from 6A. So Albertville will host Buckhorn. Alexandria will go to Boaz. Cedar Bluff is at Sandrock. Cherokee County hosts Jacksonville. Collinsville will host number 1 Fife in 2A. Crossville will host Douglas. Fort Payne goes to May Jemison. Galesville is at home against Woodville. Geraldine is at home against Brindley Mountain. Ohatchee is at home against Cleveland. A big region matchup outside the area. Piedmont will go to number 1 Randolph County, and Piedmont remain number 3 in 3A. So there again, 1, 2, and 3 all from Region 6 in Class 3A. Plainview hosts Susan Moore, and Asheville hosts White Plains.
Yeah, usually this is where we would jump into our county schools, but Kevin, I have to ask you, in that Piedmont-Randolph County game, that's, obviously we have Sax, so I can't necessarily say it would be for the region. Sax is definitely going to be a big player in that one, and can't overlook Weaver either.
Right.
But this is definitely going to play a big factor into who's probably hosting the first round of the playoffs out of that region.
I agree, Teddy. I think this gives the winner of this game gives them an inside track to hosting a first round playoff game. So a lot on the line. Still a lot of football left to be played, but this game is huge. I mean, last year, Piedmont and Randolph County ended up playing twice. They played once during the regular season, and then they saw each other again in the playoffs. So, there's a lot. There may be a little bit of bad blood there. I don't know, but it should be a whale of a ball game.
I know. If it's anything like the last one they played, it was in the semifinals. Randolph County came back to beat Piedmont late. That's one game that I covered that I will never forget. That was a phenomenal ball game. But I'm going to know who you got in this one.
I'm going to have to go with Piedmont this time around, Teddy. Last week I saw Randolph County against Glencoe. Randolph County shut them out 41-0. But something just tells me that Coach Steve Smith over at Piedmont, he's got something ready for Randolph County. And even though Randolph County is at home this week against Piedmont, I'm still going with the Bulldogs.
Same here. It's hard to bet against Steve Smith. I mean,
it really is.
If anybody can beat him, Randolph County definitely has the capabilities to do so, as we saw last year. But I'm definitely going to go with Piedmont in this one.
Yep.
To start off our region games, Glencoe at B.B. Comer. What do you see happening in that one?
The last time these two teams played was in 1955, and believe it or not, that was before I was even born. So, I mean,
That is tough to believe.
Yeah, it is kind of tough to believe, but, yeah, it's true. Anyway, Glencoe 0-2, B.B. Comer 0-2. So, B.B. Comer has they've only played twice in the series. The last time they played was, like I said, in 1955, and B.B. Comer won 19-7. Glencoe really struggling offensively. They just really against a really good Randolph County team just really could not get very much offense going whatsoever last week. There's a lot of kinks to be worked out, especially with a brand new coach. I'm just going to have to go with B.B. Comer in that one.
Glencoe scored 7 points so far this year. B.B. Comer has only scored 8. I mean, it's hard to tell which way this one's going to go. Maybe both offenses could get it going in this one. But I'm going to go with Glencoe getting the first win of the season. I just see the Yellow Jackets pulling this one off, and this will be a big one for them. They'll have Walter Welborn next week. I think that's be good for them. Be 1-1 in the region early on. So I'm gonna go with the Yellow Jackets.
Okay.
This is next one is our only non-region matchup for our county schools. Gadsden is hosting 3A Sylvania. Gadsden is 1-1 so far, with Sylvania being 0-2. What do you think about that?
Sylvania typically has been started off their season a little bit better than this, and so that's quite surprising what Sylvania has kind of struggled coming out of the gate. Gadsden, they're getting better week to week, and that's typical of a team that's coached by Swain Morris.
Right.
He's going to get those guys, and he's going to get the very best out of them week to week. But by playing Sylvania, I'm just giving a slight, and I mean a whisker of a hair to Sylvania in this one.
Last week I had to say probably one of the more shocking results for me was when I saw Ranburg beat Gadsden 42-0. Especially when them playing San Rock so close. I'm kind of wondering maybe San Rock maybe not be as strong as they typically are. I don't know. Right. It's too early to really tell. But that one still kind of shocked me. They jumped out 12-0. Gadsden's first game of the year, and it losing 21-12. Yep. Then they lose 42-0. So that's 63 unanswered points. Yep. Gadsden's giving up. I'm kind of with you. I mean, I think Gadsden's going to be fine. This is non-region, but I'm going to have to give the side edge to Sylvania as well.
Yeah.
And then Gadsden City, 0-3 right now, 0-1 in the region, hosting Austin, who's jumping up to 6A for the first time. They are 2-1 right now, 1-0 in the region.
Yeah. Austin's played a really challenging schedule coming in to jump into 7A. Gadsden City, just the struggles continue with Gadsden City, and they just they can't just quite get over the hump.
Yeah.
It just seems like they get to a certain point in the ball game, and then the next thing you know, it just kind of gets out of hand a little bit. And so, this week Austin, they're looking pretty strong, and I'm going to have to go with Austin in this one. The last time that Gadsden City played Austin was in 2011, and they lost 24-21. But right now, there's just so many question marks with Gadsden City that are really glaring question marks, especially along the offensive line. So I'm just going to have to give the edge to Austin.
It's just momentum plays are just not going Gadsden City's way. Gadsden City the last 2 weeks been in pretty good position heading into halftime. Oxford, they gave a big play for the half, and they went 14-0. Last week, Gadsden City's only staring at a 7-3 deficit going to the locker room, and that's with just 31 offensive yards and 1 first down.
Yeah.
If Gadsden City, I feel like the key for them, not just this game, but moving forward, I think to see themselves have some success on offense early is going to be key. Say that first drive they come out, get 2 or 3 first downs, but have to punt.
Right.
But they're seeing themselves get some yardage, and maybe they can build off that moving forward. And I think that'd be key for them, but they haven't been able to do that so far. I wrote down they have 3 first downs in the first half in the last 2 games combined.
Wow.
That's just tough to overcome that. Yeah. Austin's coming off their 6A semifinals 2 of the last 3 years. Last year they lost in the quarterfinals to Pensacola Valley. Yeah. Who, as we know, Bo Nix is there, and I believe they went on my state championship.
Yeah, I think they did.
So I just kind of have to get that edge to Austin as well. I mean, Gadsden City's going to fall to 0-4, 0-2 if that is the case. That's tough, especially having to travel to Bob Jones next week. Yeah. This is a big game for Gadsden City, and one I feel like they need to get, but I just have to give the edge to Austin. And then we got Aniana traveling to number 2 in 4A, Hoax Bluff. The Eagles are on fire right now.
Yeah, they really are. Last year, Hoax Bluff had to really scratch and claw to win this game, 27-21, and this could be a scary game for Hoax Bluff. Absolutely. Right here. Aniana last year had really struggled, but this year they've come out of the gate 2-0, looking pretty strong. But until somebody shows me otherwise, I'm just going to keep riding the Hoax Bluff train until somebody knocks them off the tracks, and I just don't see Aniana doing this Friday night.
And last year, like you said, it was 27-21. Hoax Bluff, escaped with that win last year, and they actually had to stop Aniana at the 1 yard line as time expired. I mean, that was a huge win by Hooks Bluff. They've only won the last 2 by 9 points combined. So pretty big game for them. I feel like Darien Meade's already over 400 yards rushing. But Ashton Gullich is a big key to that offense, too. I feel like him rolling out of the pocket, running the ball, being able to throw to Braden Hill, I think that's a big key for that offense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I got to go with Hooks Bluff as well.
Yeah, I just think the Hooks Bluff has too many weapons out there, and I just don't think that Aniana will be able to keep up.
Absolutely. Then we got West End hosting Westbrook. That's a 2A Region 6 matchup, and as you mentioned earlier, Westbrook's a region opener.
Yeah. Last time these two teams played was 2013, and West End comes in 0-3, Westbrook 2-1. West End, there again, it's the point of attack is where they really are starting to, they just struggle. And so if you can't win in the trenches, then you can't expect to win otherwise. Right. And I really think that West End is struggling. However, Westbrook, their quarterback's playing extremely well, and I'd have to give the nod to Westbrook to win their region opener.
West End is getting up 56.7 points so far. They've given up 128 points in the last 2 games. So you got Westbrook. They're only giving up 9 points a game, and they only gave up 15 last week, and that was in a loss,
Right.
I gotta give the edge to Westbrook as well. I mean, they're coming in playing well offensively. Struggled a bit last week, but I think they get back on track and they roll to start region play for sure.
Yeah.
Probably the biggest one in the county this week. The first time these 2 teams have played since 1963. That being Sardis at number 2 in 5A Etowah.
Yeah. Two undefeated teams, both playing extremely well. Like you said, the last time they played was in 1963, and they've only played twice. Matter of fact, J.J. Hicks, one of our writers, looked back, and in the 2 games, Sardis has yet to score a point on Etowah. So I think that changes Friday night.
Right.
I think this very likely could turn into a shootout. We could see, 60-some-odd points combined scored in this game, if not more. Mm-hmm. But Etowah, with their defense, it's very strong. Now, can they slow down Sardis's offense? We'll find out Friday night. I still have to give the edge to the Blue Devils.
Sardis is coming to this one 1-1 after losing to Southside last week. That's a tough one. It's one that Sardis feels like got away from them, that they probably should have won. I wasn't at that game, but hearing that they had multiple opportunities and just weren't able to capitalize. I'm kind of wondering how they respond to that. It's a tough loss, against to open the region, and then you're going against. Obviously that's going to be a physical game against Southside, and then you're probably going to be playing the most physical opponent you'll be playing all season in Etowah. We know how physical that defense is. I'm curious to see how Sardis does offensively against that defensive line and those linebackers, just the defense as a whole. It's going to be interesting. Etowah, they've just been coasting. 19-0 against Moody the week before. Then they come back last week, get to rolling offensively, 52-7 against Crossville.
Yeah.
They've only allowed 30 points defensively, and 16 of those were in that third quarter against Gadsden City in the season opener.
Yeah.
It's tough to score on those guys. It just absolutely is.
Yeah.
And then, I got to get the edge to Etowah. The thing I really keep my eye on in this one is quarterback rotations. Mm-hmm. Deriki Wright and Brady, how they keep doing that. And then also on Sardis' side with Trent Presley and Jay Owens. I want to see how they do that. And I think the key for Etowah is going to be how they handle Etowah's pass rush. And I think for Etowah, it's staying in sync on offense. Keep that train rolling there. But I got the Etowah winning as well.
Well, like I said, we've got a full slate of games this Friday night, folks. Be sure to come back and join us around 11 o'clock on Facebook Live, and we're going to run down the winners and losers of these games and probably some of the bigger games in and around the area, including Piedmont, Randolph County, and even some of those around the state that might catch our eye. Until then, please check us out on YouTube, on our YouTube channel for the Gadsden Times. You can find a number of the writers, even our photographers, on Twitter, and as well, check out some of the game previews that'll be on our website at gadsdentimes.com. And then on Friday nights, when you've got a little bit of time before you join us on Facebook Live, go to gadsdentimes.com and check out the really cool photo galleries that we have and the videos that we'll already have posted probably before we go live. So until then, we greatly appreciate everybody joining us, and our time is out, and thank you for yours.